You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
Back here from Media Row Day 2, Super Bowl 59. Our coverage all week presented by L'Auberge. And a guy who needs no introduction among LSU faithful. Guy's a former first-round draft pick, part of that 2011 team that won the SEC, played for the national championship. Kind of got hosed,
right?
As we all know. It is Michael Brockers. How are you, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm great, man.
Good.
I'm great. Thank you for having me on.
Dude, it's we've tried to connect for a little bit now. I'm glad that we crossed paths here. First and foremost, because I'm sure there's a lot of LSU fans listening, watching right now, like, catch everybody up. So you retired from the NFL, and what's been up since?
And I've been a serial entrepreneur. I opened a restaurant called Quad Houston, kind of tending off the LSU Quad where we meet
nice.
in the school. So Quad Houston is my restaurant. I'm in real estate school right now, so I'm going to be a realtor, and me and my wife, and just because I own properties now, so calling myself a real estate professional, investor and realtor. And I got my podcast, which is the Broadcast. I have my brand, which is Brock Brand. So I just want to be a serial entrepreneur, bro. And it was tempted off of leaving the league, man. Getting cut from Detroit, it put a salty taste in my mouth because you never want to be told that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And that left a salty taste in my mouth, and I went, and maybe a couple of months later I did a workout for Tennessee, and they told me, like, hey man, you look good to me. I don't know what they're talking about. And literally that those couple of words of appreciation took me, I was done. After that, I was like, okay, that was enough for me. I was done. I played 11 years in the league. At that time, I was enough at that time.
So your last season was 22.
2022, yes.
So 22. So it's funny that you said the workout with Tennessee because I was going to ask, like, everybody's time ends at some point, right? Like, I mean, I never played, but I've done enough of these interviews with that you get the perspective of enough people. They tell you, like, some dudes know when it's time, when they're ready, and some dudes aren't ready, but the league tells them it.
Right.
In any sport, really. So when you walked away, like, were you still pushing to think, like, I think I want to go another year?
I mean, I'm a realist, man. So year 10, year 11, I'm a realist about stats, where I'm at, and I just knew that wasn't the ball I was used to playing. You watch film and you're like, man, I would have made that play a couple of years ago. So
was there a play you remember?
I do.
There
remember.
has to be a moment.
It was a play where I remember, and I got a little emotional about it because it was I was in the gap. I got off the block.
Who are you playing? Tell me.
We're playing Seattle. So we're playing Seattle, and we're in Detroit. I think they're down, driving to kick a field goal. And we were in this, we were playing a 3-4, and I was in the 4. I had my nose to me. And nose gets washed out, and the B-gaps becomes huge, So I get off the block and try to make the tackle. I think I was tackling the big running back. His name was Penny, last name Penny. He was huge.
Oh, Rashad Penny.
Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
He was huge. He went through the gap, got the first down, and I was just like sick. And I didn't even go home that night. I went straight to the facility, got in the hot tub because I was just like, I lost us the game, So watching that play, and I was just like, man, father time has caught up to me, So that was really the play that kind of, I just knew. I just knew it was it, man. I just knew, like, my legs, I could have, stayed up a couple of years ago, probably stayed up, make that tackle. Now, 10 years, 11 years in, it's not happening. So that was eye-opening, rude awakening for me. But I was a realist about it. I seen that I wasn't playing the same ball. I wasn't, confused about where I was.
Yeah.
When Detroit told me they were letting me go, I was upset, but I kind of knew. And let's be real. You kind of knew that I didn't have it anymore. So, them telling me that, it was just like, dang, really? And I think that's why I said the workout with Tennessee later on that offseason kind of clarified, like, I still had it, but I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. I did well with my money throughout my, career. And, I just wanted I guess I wanted to know if I was still good enough to play. And Tennessee gave me that. With just the working out, the D-line coach telling me, like, bro, I feel like you can still go. I think that was enough for me to just say, you know what? I am enough, but I'm choosing not to play anymore. So that's the one up I have on the NFL. I'm choosing not to play anymore.
Michael Brockers is our guest, of course, former Tiger grade first-round pick. Probably the most famous game you played in the Dome was one that I'd rather forget, which was the NOLA no call in 2018.
Yes.
Man, you can't laugh.
I didn't know that was y'all had a name for it. It's
you didn't know that?
No, I did not. I mean, I was on the other side of it, so I was kind of happy. But knowing that it's the NOLA no call.
No call, man. It is. Hey, so you want to know? Like, I'll tell you this. So me as a sports fan, right? As a kid, I was born in New Orleans. Spent most of my life in Baton Rouge. Went to LSU. Diehard Saints Tigers fan. Like that's been my whole life. All right. Like the 2 worst days in my life as a sports fan. I'll tell you a third too, but the 2. Number 1, you were part of both of them.
That's crazy.
January 9th, 2012.
Yes.
21-0 against Alabama. And the NOLA no call. Dude, I was sitting there lower. I was behind the Rams bench, probably about the 40-yard line, about 15 rows up, watching that. I mean, those 2, and then the third would be you don't care about this, but the Yankees lost the 2001 World Series. Mariano Rivera blew a save. Luis Gonzalez, a little flare. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah,
right? Wait,
right.
I don't even need to go there. But anyway, so like, when do people bring that game up to you? Because like that's a thing that is in the way that 2011 is lingering for LSU fans, like the one that got away,
right?
Like the one you should have had. People here feel the same about 2018 with the NOLA no call. The
NOLA no call.
So what do you like? Do you ever think about that play? I mean, is that just not a part of your?
It's crazy because I was a part of the play. Like from the angle of where the back judge was looking, I was the one jumping up trying to get the ball. So from his angle, it looks like I tipped the ball. Maybe. We don't know. It's still the no call,
Wait,
right?
you're trying to say you tipped the ball?
Huh?
Oh, all right. Okay, all right. I was about to say, because this, like, I asked you that question not even knowing, like, that you were that involved in the play, man. But, like, you mean to tell me? Well, I look at this.
Yeah,
man.
like if you look at it before, like I was, damn, if there was a video. But before, like right when the ball is coming out of Breeze's hand, it goes like right over my fingertips. So I don't know if you can find that, but yes, I was a part of that.
How in the world did I never know that component of this?
Man, you're not looking at the guy who almost tipped the ball. You're looking at the play.
But Mike, whenever you watch that play a million times, you've watched what you think is every angle and every possible element of that play.
Right.
I mean, now maybe it's just something where I recognize it then. I'm just trying to block it out of my mind at this point. All right, I got to find the video of that. Michael Brockers is hanging out with us. Hey, you know, one of the things that was interesting, like we were talking before we came on, you're a Houston guy who came to LSU. Like, remind us why LSU back then, like why you picked LSU.
Because I bleed, purple and gold.
Was it
bro.
always that way, like growing up?
I mean, obviously I grew up in Texas, so I didn't really get into football probably until 10, 11. So I was all Cowboys because we had no Houston team at that time. So I'm all Cowboys. And as I'm growing up and starting to learn like the football and watch college and things like that, I'm watching Texas A&M, and I'm like, bro, they are scoring a lot, and there's no defense on the field. It feels like there's no defense on the field. Then I change the channel and watch an SEC game, and I feel like there's defensive players all over the field. And, every single one of them, and a couple of months later, they get drafted in the first round. So for me, I was like, LSU is only 4 hours away, not far away from home. The same distance from, Houston and Dallas. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. I can get back home if I needed to in an emergency. But, man, I bled purple and gold, bro. And I still do. I love LSU. There's no other college in the world that I'm really worried about. I'm watching LSU. My kids are watching LSU. You will rock purple and gold. And that's just me because I am before the NIL. Yeah. I'm not a transfer portal guy. I was at LSU. I had to sit behind a bunch of first rounders. I had to wait my turn, and I was willing to do that because I loved LSU, and that's just who I am.
You know what's weird about that too, man? I remember. I guess I'm not old, but I'm getting older. Like I've been around for a minute now. But like I covered the Cotton Bowl that you all played Texas A&M in, and I have a very vivid memory of you, not from the game, but you redshirted when you came to LSU, and in 10 you were a redshirt freshman. But do you remember the hotel where y'all stayed? It was the Hilton Anatole. Do you remember it all? It was a giant atrium.
Okay.
And there was a huge, like, 3-story escalator. And I remember, like, the teams coming down in the windsuits and all coming down the escalator. I said, like, because I cover the team, right? I'm like, the hell is that? I was like, and it was you. I'm like, that guy redshirted? And so I've used you as an example for years, man, because you were a guy, like, I think, because you left after your redshirt sophomore year. So LSU really only got one season full on.
One full season.
And so I've always said Les Miles, after Michael Brockers went pro after the 11th season, changed the way he approached recruiting. Because he said, we're no longer telling guys come and sit.
Right.
If you're going to play right away, and we're going to get you to the league in 3 years.
Right.
And they changed the way they recruited after that. Like, I don't even know if was that part of your recruitment? They told you you were coming to
I'm going to be honest with you. I went to LSU but I wanted to play for LSU. I didn't know if it was going to be first right off. I didn't know. I knew there were some juniors and seniors in front of me. But I didn't know I was going to play, So I was willing to wait it out to get on the field. I was lucky enough to have had juniors and seniors in front of me who helped me and learn the game. So I had Al Woods, I had
Nevis.
Drake Nevis. I had a lot of guys, Pep Livingston. I had a lot of guys in front of me who taught me the game. So I was willing to sit back, learn, because when I got from inner city Houston high school to SEC football, it's a rude awakening, bro. It's a rude awakening, and I was willing to say, you know what, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting bodied by tight ends in the SEC, and that's not supposed to happen ever, So let me sit back, learn the game, and, allow you guys to teach me, and I will do what I have to do after that. But I was just a quick learner, very coachable, and I no quit, man. I have desire to do whatever I want to, So I think at LSU, there were points in my time where I wanted to quit. Coach Moffitt, thank you for making me the best player ever, the best player I could be, because he put me through the ringer, bro.
Put everybody through the ringer.
He put me through the ringer, but he made me such a better player for that. So, I owe a lot to Coach Moffitt, too. I don't think he knows that, but I say it every time I get a chance. He helped me get through life, honestly.
Man, there is so much more that I want to talk to you about. We got to run. Let's do this again.
Yes.
Soon. Real quick before you go, your podcast, your merch, where can people go?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram heavy. So at The Brockcast is my podcast.
So Brock, BROCKCAST, at The Brockcast, okay?
The Brockcast is my podcast site.
Can we make sure we tag the Brockcast on Instagram? Okay.
Please do, because I think this is what this is about, collab and networking.
Oh, Alonzo's going to take care of it.
All right.
She'll take. She got it.
Personally, MBrockers90 is my tag, and my clothing line, which is Brock Brand Clothing. Don't stay ready, get ready is our kind of motto. Also, quality over quantity, man. Quality of these shirts are, legit. So
nice.
Feel it. Yeah,
nice.
Come on now. So, yeah, man, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing real estate, like I told you. So just being a serial entrepreneur, I want to be a boss. I didn't want to have to be an employee for anybody. I want to be the boss.
Great former Tiger, doing awesome things, man. It's great to see you. Congrats on all the success.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it again soon, man. That is
Must.
Michael Brockers.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.